Hello everybody, just a quick little tutorial on how to use the base textures once you open them up in the map editor. So you have your base texture here, you want to copy it to your map. So all you got to do is drag a box around the part that you want and it'll select all the textures contained within there. So these are all stitched together so that it looks like it's one continuous piece, but in reality there's a bunch of them. So if I select this part, you can see all these individual boxes are a texture of their own, and they do this to save space in the game, because if they had this entire thing as one texture, it would take up too much space. So all you got to do is select the one you want, go on your keyboard, do Control Copy, and then you can just back out of this map and go into the map that you want to put these in, and then do Control Paste. And make sure you have this little magnet unselected, because if you do that, then it'll snap to the grid and it'll mess up. See, let me just demonstrate that really quick. See, it just moved them all around, so now they don't line up exactly. You see that? It just broke the lines, or the alignment. So you want to make sure you have that off, and then you can move it around freely. The only thing is that moving it around will cause the seams in between to break. So these are not perfectly aligned, right? It's just approximate. So it'll cause these big glaring seams to show up in game, and these will these are really obvious and really annoying. But there's a way to get rid of them, which is if I could just get it to show up here. Okay, you just select one of these, and it's on the horizontal axis, so I want to go over here, and I'm just going to add 0.001 to this number right here, so I'm going to make it 0.174, and that just stretches it. Unfortunately, you can't only stretch it on one side, you have to stretch it from both sides, but that's okay. The change is so minute that you won't notice it in-game, but the fault line will disappear and you won't have to worry about it anymore. And when you zoom out, it doesn't look any different. It doesn't look like it's changed at all. So that's how you get rid of those, and you got to do the same thing for every one of them. So it's unfortunate that there's no way to get them to line up, and there's no way to anchor like the top left or the top right, but it's better than not having base textures at all. Another thing is, let me just get a good piece here. I'm going to show you, if I resize this one, right, I make it really stretched out and deformed, you can get it back to its original size by pressing this button right here, the magnet with the checkerboard pattern, and that just snaps it right back to its original size. And that's exactly how I got these to look right in the first place. I didn't know about this before, but that's a very handy tool. So once you have your part in your level, they won't be the right sizes. Like, they'll be a little bit bigger, and all the maps base textures are a little bit off. They're not the exact sizes as each other. So what you can do is you can resize them with this one right here. That resizes while maintaining the same ratio, and if you select all of the textures, it keeps them all aligned, so that's pretty handy. But there's another more precise way to do it, and shout outs to Kita, who let me know about this. But if you select all of your textures, so let me go ahead and do it with this one, since it's very obvious to see the effect here. And by the way, when you select one part, you can continuously select the other parts by holding Control and then just dragging the box around them. So that's how I'm doing that. And holding Alt on the keyboard lets you deselect one without unselecting the others. But anyway, you can go in here and you can just put in a number like 60, and it'll downsize it to 60%. And I could just, if I don't like that, I can Control Z, go back here, do 58%, and you can just keep doing that and keep checking, and keep seeing how it looks until you get the right size that you want for your map. So that's how you use these textures. Hope you found this useful, and enjoy it, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna do all the maps base textures because these are only for Ribbit 4. But they look good enough. You know, they're not tinted. I think these are the original ones that Ronimo made, so they're not really specialized or whatever you want to call it. So you can tint them. You can add a. I have all these selected, right? You can add like a color here. If I go alpha blend, I can make it more red. If I put in 50, bring down that, so I can tint it red or something like that. Whatever you want, you know. You could always play around with them. It's very versatile. So anyway, that's the end of the tutorial, and enjoy.